Good afternoon, traders. Today is the 29th of December. It's around 2:20 p.m. right now. I'm having a great day. I sold my GG. Okay, so I'm looking at the GG calls, and remember I told you I held two contracts today, and I actually sold them at 155, which was right above yesterday's high. It was a nice little scalp. And they hit a high of 167 today. So that was a nice about 350 I made on that trade. Here we are looking at the gold futures right now, and I think you guys can see the reason I held the GG overnight. You need to look at the miners, the gold miners, like you look at the oil refiners and the transporters. If gold's going up, the miners are going to go up as well. They don't move in direct correlation, but the more demand for gold means that the mining companies will have to produce more, and if the production goes up, their profits go up. So anyways, we pulled up and nice flag pattern, and then we broke out of that in the 1402. We got over the 1400, which was the psychological number. You see this trend line? It's dating back long term from a month and a half ago, and it just continues up. So right now we are still bullish on gold. Now I'm going to tell you one of two things that could happen. I hope you guys can see this clear. One, we do break out to new highs and we put in a higher high, which would lead us up to about right here. Or two, we come up, we bounce off the previous 1424 high, or we could even get up to the 1432 high. And then if we actually went up to the 1432 and pulled below 1424, that's maybe when you'd look to take a short and start taking profits. But that's only short term. Overall, the trend is still bullish. We cannot get bearish on this until we see some indication that it's reversed. You just have to stay strong. All commodities are up, guys. Looking at the OIH right here, it's on fire today. It opened at 137.25, and you see it's already ran up huge. The next level is going to be over this 134 level. Now I'm looking at the options contracts, and it looks like the 144s are very active today. So they're probably thinking we will make a new high and we'll continue up. So most likely the big players think that crude will hit 95 fairly quick, which I also believe that too. And if that happens, we're going to go up. Just like if gold continues up, the GDX is going to continue to rally. Right now, some people are taking a little profits, but until we get below 60.84, we have to remain bullish. And we still have an ascending 50 on the 1 hour time frame. Alright, now I'm looking at the DBA, which is the agriculture fund, and it trades approximately 2 million shares a day. You see this thing's had an amazing move, and you just have to know that ETFs don't always correlate with stocks that are in them directly. There's many things that can move a stock. So basically, if you're going to watch an ETF, you have to look at the top holdings in the ETF to determine what information will likely give the valuation to the ETF and help move it. For example, today, look at POT. POT. This thing is on fire. Our food prices are all going up, so therefore they came out today with a news article saying that the grocery stores will have to increase our food prices now because they're taking it. You see all the futures and commodities rallying. This thing's just going crazy. We're up almost 10 points today. And I could continue on. Monsanto up 2 points today, and the thing just keeps going. And I'm looking at the 70 options, and they're very, very heavily traded on the option side, the calls today. Next we'll look at Mosaic. Mosaic's up $4.16. I was just about to take a long on 74.75, but I wasn't exactly sure how far this thing could go. And it looks like they're gunning for the 80 level on Mosaic, but 75, which is already in the money on the calls, are a lot more active than all the other ones. We're running right past the yearly highs. And just look at this intraday chart. We opened at 71.97. If you're a day trader, you pray for days like this. And a useful tool that I use when I'm trading is, for example, this. So it's Money Central MSN Investor, and then you go to Wizards, and what you do is you type in a company you're interested in, for example, Mosaic. And you could do a comparison to the other companies. So we'll type in Potash and we'll type in Monsanto. It gives you all the vital information. It shows you their income and everything. But if you really want to see who the big players are in a company, you come down, you look at total sales. So by far Monsanto has the most sales. And then we look at the income that's generated. You see Monsanto has generated $3 billion more than Mosaic, but they only made $100 million more. So that pretty much tells you that Mosaic right at this time is a better stock when it comes to generating income. So you just can compare different things, and it's really useful. And I'll actually post a link so you guys can do the same thing. I really feel it will help you out. And then you see Potash. You see the price is really high on Potash, but Potash has generated less money, almost half the money of what Monsanto did, but they've produced more income than them. Next, we're looking at Apollo, and I need to switch to a little closer time frame. Okay, so we finally got past the 39 level on Apollo. It was about time, and we bumped against it enough times where I'm pretty confident in my call position. I bought 20 contracts of the 40 calls on Apollo. Now, when I'm looking at options, I mainly go for options that are around $1. Unless I feel that the stock has a lot of up room, I'll focus on maybe 3 or 4 strikes up. So that's up from the cheapest ones. They tend to have a little more volume, but you see this 40 level, it's very, very active. 3,100 new volume have traded so far. And then we'll go and look at the puts. You see how many more calls than puts there are? That sometimes gives you an indication of where the stock could go. Alright, so here are the January 40 calls I purchased today at $1.60. And right now they're trading at $1.79. And my target is $2.40. So right up here, we need to get over this high and get up there. And that should happen because the overall move in Apollo, I believe that we could easily get 41, 44 out of this, potentially 42. And this might be something that I look on to hold on to maybe into February, as long as we could get some momentum and some more volume come seeping in. There's a good chance that we could get back up to the 46 level. So I'll just keep scaling out my position. The higher we go, I'll take profits the entire way up. Next, we're looking at Oxy, and this is a long-term chart. The highest level we've been is right here from 2008, May of 2008, we hit 94.89. So we're breaking all-time highs. And remember, during this time, crude was $140 a barrel. And it seems imminent that this stock is going to rally up to the 102, 103 area. I'm going to try to make this pretty quick. Just to note, you guys need to keep watching these biotechs. They're on fire. And that could continue into the first and second week of January as well. Also, the refiners, coal stocks are starting to rally again. But real quick, I'll show you XOMA. This stock's been around since '86, and in '86 it was trading at 425. And then we just been continuing down lower and lower. Right now we're currently at 514. We haven't really been doing much, but we had this huge recovering right here, and there was people shorting this thing all the way down. On a valuation perspective right here, it still looks cheap. When a stock drops that far, of course it doesn't drop for any reason. But if you're a long-term investor, you may look to purchase this thing around 350 and just hold it. Do your research on what they have in the pipeline. But right now I'm starting to focus on my account. I'm looking for them long-term plays, them plays that I could hold on to for 8 months to a year. But I'm still keeping my speculation money, which is how I earn my income. And then after I earn my income, I put 20% of my money in the bank automatically. I invest another 20% in long-term investments, which I thoroughly research the entire company and everything to do with their balance sheet, analyst ratings, everything. 10% a month is based on my spending and bills, and the other 50% gets reinvested in my current day trading account and options trading account. Alright, I'm looking at LVS here, and it's starting to get interesting. It has a descending triangle, and it looks like it's trying to approach the 4370 level. We're getting a little buying, but it's not nothing to get excited about. And then you have the 20 going below the 50, right around the 47 level, which is also bearish. We continue making lower highs and lower lows, which is a bad thing. So right now the trend is down, and it would take a lot of volume to get it reversed. But as long as it's in this range, I will be looking when we do bounce to take a long in LVS, and the options trade really well on this. And you even have RIG getting a little bounce today right off the 50. Anyways, guys, I got to get back to trading. It's about 2:40. Good luck trading. If you have any questions, just write me, and have a great day.